welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're looking at, well, the anatomy of fear, really. We've got 3 accounts that are just deeply unsettling.
Right, and the focus isn't just the scare factor, though that's definitely there. It's about when the system's designed to protect you, like the police just can't.
Exactly. When conventional help fails, and you're left completely alone with something terrifying, these are situations where authorities, for various reasons, dismiss the danger.
And that shared element, that isolation and the breakdown of those safety nets, that's what makes these stories so profoundly disturbing, the feeling that there's nowhere left to turn.
So let's get into the first one. This account, we're calling it The Watcher in the Note. It happened back in 2021, Southern Illinois.
Okay, so picture this. A pretty standard rented townhouse in a quiet area. The person involved, 27 years old, just moved in after a breakup.
Trying to get a fresh start, sounds like.
Right, but there was this one thing that stood out immediately. A neighbor. Tall guy, heavy set. He had this habit of just standing outside his place, staring.
Staring where? At the house.
Just staring, not waving, not moving much, just there. It's immediately unsettling, creates this baseline of being watched.
Yeah, that's creepy from the get-go.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop there, obviously.
No. Mid-September, late at night, like 2:37 a.m., the victim wakes up to a noise, described it as metal scraping against wood.
Ooh, not a sound you want to hear.
Definitely not. And then soft footsteps on the decorative gravel they had in the backyard. So clearly someone's back there.
Okay, so they called 911.
Immediately, police arrived maybe 10 minutes later. They checked around, found the back gate closed, lights off everywhere.
What do they say?
They essentially dismissed it, suggested, and this is the quote, probably just a raccoon.
A raccoon scraping metal on wood. Seriously.
It made the victim feel like they were completely wasting the officer's time, like they were being irrational.
Which is awful. But then came the proof, right? The next morning.
Exactly. The next morning, they go outside, and there it is, a flat stone about the size of a paperback book, wedged right under the wooden fence gate.
To stop it closing.
Precisely. It was deliberately placed to keep that heavy gate from latching shut, to allow someone easy, quiet access later.
That's not a raccoon. That's intent. Did the police see it?
They came back, yeah, they noted it down, but they said without a crime actually being committed, like a break-in, they couldn't really investigate further.
So someone is clearly planning something, setting things up, but legally, nothing.
Legally, not yet. And it escalated quickly. 2 nights later, 2:14 a.m. this time, they wake up again, but this time it's the back door handle.
Someone trying to get in.
Rattling it, gently at first, then harder. Terrified.
Police again.
Police again. This time they did find large footprints in the gravel leading right up to that back door.
Okay, now they have something, right? Footprints, rattling handle.
You'd think so. But the official response was still, since no entry had been made, there wasn't enough to go on.
Wow. So the person could basically walk right up to the door, try to get in, leave footprints, and still nothing concrete could be done.
That was the situation. The perpetrator seemed to know exactly how far they could push it without crossing that legal line.
So what did the victim do? They must have felt completely exposed.
They installed Wi-Fi security cameras, smart move, and it didn't take long. A few nights later, 2:23 a.m., the back camera alert goes off.
And it caught him.
Oh, it caught him. A tall, broad man, black hoodie, gloves, walks right up to the camera, looks directly into the lens, and smiles.
Smiles.
Described as a slow, stretched-out grin. Then he just turned and walked away into the darkness.
That is pure psychological warfare. He knew he was being recorded.
Exactly. It's like he was saying, I see your camera, I know the rules, and I'm still here.
Yep.
Please watch the clip.
And still couldn't act.
Still claim they couldn't. No actual damage, no break-in attempt caught on camera that time, just presence and intimidation. His face wasn't even clear in the hoodie.
I can't even imagine. What was the final straw?
2 things. First, finding 4 muddy handprints on the glass of the back door. Too high up, too low down, like someone had crouched there just looking in for a long time.
Oh, God.
And then, the very last day, after they'd already broken the lease and were moving out, a note in the mailbox, handwritten.
What does it say?
It said, "The cops leave, but I don't."
Chilling. Absolutely chilling. He wasn't just watching the victim. He was watching the police response, too.
He understood the limitations of law enforcement perfectly. He knew they'd leave, and he wouldn't. The psychological terror of that note and that camera smile,
Yeah.
it's profound.
Did they ever hear anything after moving?
Yes. About a month later, the victim got a message from the new tenant who had moved in. A woman named Kayla.
Asking
Asking if they'd ever seen anyone hanging around in a black hoodie. Said she'd been hearing footsteps outside late at night around 2 a.m. and someone had knocked on her glass door.
So he didn't leave. He just waited for the next person.
Seems that way. The pattern continued.
Okay, that's deeply disturbing on a human level. But what about when the threat feels less human? Let's shift to the second account. The phone that rang dead, upstate New York, 2020.
Right. This one takes a very different turn. We have an individual working for a property preservation company. Their job is to clear out foreclosed houses.
Okay.
This particular house was way out in a rural area, very isolated. The previous owner, an elderly woman, had passed away there.
Got it. So abandoned house, middle of nowhere.
And crucially, the person doing the work noted right away.
Yeah.
Absolutely no cell signal at the property, none whatsoever, dead zone.
Okay, that's important. So cut off.
Completely. But almost as soon as they started working, their work cell phone rings, displays unknown caller.
Wait, the phone with no signal?
The phone with no signal, they answered it. All they heard was this low, crackling, static, weird, but they figured maybe it was just a glitch, a fluke.
Maybe trying to connect, drop signal. You could rationalize it.
You could, but the inside of the house was odd. It had the usual smell of an old, empty place, mildew, dust, but also something else, faintly metallic.
Metallic? Strange.
And in one room, there was a corkboard, covered, absolutely covered, with dozens of newspaper clippings.
Clippings of what?
All obituaries, carefully cut out and pinned up, lots of them.
Okay, that is specific and kind of morbid, adds a layer to the whole thing.
Definitely changes the atmosphere from just an empty house to something else. So the worker goes into the bathroom, and the work phone rings again.
The one with no signal.
Again, unknown caller. They answer.
Yeah.
This time, about 5 seconds of total silence, and then a voice, very soft, a whisper.
What did it whisper?
It whispered, "Don't answer the phone in the bedroom." And then the line just went dead.
Okay, hold on. No signal. A whisper warning about a phone in the bedroom.
How? That's the terrifying question. They checked again, no signal, no one visible outside, no way for someone to know they were there, let alone warn them about a specific phone.
This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? Because the next ring, it wasn't the cell phone.
No. The third ring came from inside the house. In the master bedroom, on the nightstand, there was this old rotary phone, yellowed with age, clearly disconnected line.
And it rang.
It started ringing. A loud, shrill, mechanical ring, the kind those old phones made, echoing through the totally silent house. It rang several times, then stopped.
A disconnected rotary phone ringing right after a whispered warning about it. That's not explainable by glitches.
Not easily, no. Residual power, induction. People try to explain these things, but the timing connected to that specific warning is deeply unsettling.
So did they check the basement? The outline mentioned something found there.
Reluctantly, yes. They went down to the basement. And they found two things. A newer cordless phone handset, strangely, and a stack of old yellowed notebooks.
Notebooks, what was in them?
This is the core of it. They weren't diaries, they were logs. Dozens and dozens of entries. Each entry listed a name, a date, and a short sentence. Things like, Lena H., July 3rd, 2019, rang once, didn't answer. Or, Carl M., September 12th, 2019, picked up, warned him.
Wait, the names and dates?
Yeah.
Were they connected to the obituaries on the corkboard?
It seemed highly likely. The implication is, well, terrifying, that someone or something in that house was using the phones, maybe even the disconnected one, to contact the numbers associated with the recently deceased.
The whisper warned him. The whisper they received was a warning, too.
Exactly. It suggests they accidentally became part of this system, this communication pattern documented in the notebooks, whether it was the deceased owner's strange project, a squatter continuing it, or something genuinely paranormal. The house itself seemed to be communicating.
What did the worker do? I'd be out of there so fast.
They quit on the spot, reported the property as unsafe, didn't go back.
Smart. Was there any follow-up?
Yeah, a couple of days later, another crew member, a guy named Mark, who went in after them, sent a text. He confirmed that the old phone in the bedroom, the disconnected one, rang while he was in there too. Seriously. Mark apparently quit right after that. Just stopped showing up to work, never came back. Police checked for squatters, found nothing. The house remained empty, but the evidence, the notebooks, the calls, points to something deeply wrong.
Again, the authorities investigate, find no person breaking the law, and the unexplained terror remains. Okay, let's move to the third account. This one feels more localized, more contained, maybe. What was in the basement? from 2019.
Yeah, this one focuses on a specific part of a house. The victim was a security guard working night shifts, living in an older rental house. You know, the kind, maybe thin walls, settling noises.
Right, and the key feature was the basement door. It was in the hallway, near the bathroom, with the light switch for the basement stairs.
It was positioned halfway down the stairs, not at the top.
Oh, that's terrible design. You have to start going down into the darkness before you can even turn on the light.
Exactly. It creates this built-in vulnerability. You have to commit to the dark first. Sets the stage perfectly for what happened.
So what was the first sign?
It started subtly. Late October, the guard comes home from a night shift. It's around 3 a.m. Hears 3 soft, distinct taps. Seem to come from behind the heavy basement door.
Easy to dismiss that, maybe? House settling, pipes.
That's what they tried to do, rationalize it away. But then, a few nights later, they're in the bathroom, brushing their teeth. Suddenly, a loud, single knock hits the basement door. Hard.
Okay, that's different, not settling.
No. And instinctively, they put their ear against the wood of the door. And they heard it.
Heard what?
Breathing. Faint, but slow, steady. Like someone was standing right on the other side, just waiting.
Nope. Absolutely not. Did they call the landlord?
They did. The landlord came, checked the basement thoroughly, found absolutely nothing. No one down there, no sign of entry, which of course just makes the person feel more alone with it, like maybe they are imagining things.
Until it becomes undeniable.
Right. Weeks went by, things were quiet. Then, one night, around 2 a.m., the victim hears this slow, grinding creak of the hinges moving.
The basement door.
They looked down the hallway. The basement door, which they hadn't touched in over a week, was standing wide open.
Just open. On its own.
Wide open. So they cautiously go towards it, reach for the light switch halfway down.
Oh.
The switch was dead. No power to the basement light.
Oh, come on. Of course it was.
So they're standing there at the top of these pitch black stairs. Silence for a moment. And then they hear footsteps
Coming for the base.
coming up the stairs. Described as slow, but they were 100% footsteps coming towards them out of the total darkness.
What did they do?
They slammed the door shut. Hard. Said they felt this pressure, like something hit it from the other side right as it closed. They called the police.
And the police searched again?
Searched the whole house, top to bottom, basement too. Found nothing. Nothing disturbed, no windows broken, no forced entry anywhere. The threat was contained within the house, it seemed.
So, again, no legal recourse. What then? A padlock.
That was the next step. Got a heavy-duty padlock, slapped it on the basement door, and for about a month, silence. It seemed to work. Until one night they came home, and the padlock was lying on the floor. Broken.
Broken. Not picked, but broken.
Snapped, or forced somehow, lying there. And the basement door was slightly ajar again.
Okay, that is physical evidence. Destruction of property. Attempted entry, surely.
Absolutely. That's the moment the activity clearly crossed a legal line. It's tangible proof of intent, of force. It bypassed their security measure.
Did that change the police response?
It seemed muted. They came, they looked, but the focus was still just on whether someone was currently inside. Since there wasn't, I felt like the report just got filed away. The victim also realized something else creepy.
Why?
All these incidents, the tapping, the breathing, the door opening, the broken lock, they always happened at night, specifically when they were home alone after their shift. Never during the day, never when anyone else might be around.
Whatever it was, it knew their schedule. It was waiting for them.
Seems like it. So the victim decides they've had enough of the door. They physically nailed it shut, boards across it, wedged a heavy chair against it for good measure.
Barricaded it completely.
Completely. A few nights later, quiet again. Then around 3 a.m., another sound, but this one was different.
Different how?
They described it as a voice, but not someone speaking. More like a deep rumble. Like vocal cords vibrating, but without forming words. And the sound wasn't coming from the basement door anymore.
Where was it coming from?
Directly beneath the floorboards, right under their bed.
Under the bed, oh no.
It had bypassed the door, the nails, the chair. It was somehow in the structure of the house right below them. That was the absolute final straw.
I bet. Police one last time.
Called them one last time while packing a bag. They basically fled the house that night, left everything else behind, always wondering what exactly was coming up those stairs and what would have happened if they'd waited just a little longer.
So, 3 stories. A stalker who knew the legal limits, a house communicating through disconnected phones, and something physically present but unseen in a basement. What ties these together?
It's that core theme, isn't it? In each case, the established authority, the police, the system you expect to help. it failed to intervene effectively, not necessarily through negligence, but because the nature of the threat often fell into a legal gray area.
Right. The malice was calculated in each instance. The stalker used the lack of committed crime. The weirdness in the second house left no prosecutable evidence. The basement entity, well, until the lock was broken, it was just sounds and feelings, which are hard to act on legally.
Exactly. These perpetrators, whether human or something else, they operated just below the threshold required for decisive action. They exploited the gap between feeling terrified and proving a specific, actionable offense had occurred according to statute.
Observation, intimidation, rattling handles, strange calls, unsettling sounds. These things cause immense psychological harm, but they often don't trigger the same response as, say, a broken window or a physical assault.
And that's the chilling pattern. The realization that the very rules designed to protect civil liberties and prevent wrongful action can sometimes shield those who intend harm, as long as they are careful enough not to cross specific, often physical, lines.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If law enforcement is bound by rules that primarily address committed crimes, what happens when the intent is purely psychological? When it's designed just to watch, to torment, to stalk right up to that legal edge?
And how many people might be out there right now living with some kind of shadow, some kind of presence that the police technically have to leave behind because the rules haven't been broken enough yet? That's the truly unsettling thought.
Thank you for tuning into this chilling deep dive. We hope these stories, while disturbing, offer some insight into those terrifying moments when the safety nets fail.
Remember to keep your doors locked, stay aware of your surroundings, and perhaps don't dismiss those unsettling feelings too quickly.
If you found these accounts as unsettling as we did, please show your support. It helps us bring more of these dark truths to light.
Please hit the like button, share this exploration with others who delve into true horror, and consider subscribing to our channel, Horror Docs, for more true tales of the terrifying and the unexplained.
Good night, and try to stay safe out there.